We're willing to accept what the humans are. We have to. We have no choice. It's not our purpose to try to convince anyone. That doesn't matter. We're only saying what we know is real, true. We're only saying what we've heard. What we've heard in the secret places we declare out loud. And we know we're not going to be validated by man. Because we never are. So we won't be. And that's good. It's okay because it's a precedent that's already been set. It was good enough for the Son. So it's good enough for His disciples, those who hear His voice, those who have what He had, those who have living in them what He had living in Him. That's what's good. It's not good at first. We hate it at first because we want it to be another way, and we expect it to be another way when we first start hearing the Word. We expect it to be the way that we have already decided because it's the same pattern all over. So we think it's going to be a certain way and it's going to move along a certain course that we've already decided in our mind it will move. That's natural because that's the way of the animal. That's the way of man. That's the way of the dead adversary. The animal who just wants to keep its host alive, which is really dead. Dead to what's genuine and authentic. But we learn to accept it as really what's good and what's best for us because it's against what we naturally have in us, living in us. And we learn to accept the fact that it isn't going to go our way. That making things go the way we need it to go is the way of man. It's the way of man, the animal. The dead animal. And we learn to accept that we can't do that with that genuine word that we hear. Because that's doing with it the same thing that man does with it. The same thing man has always done with it. Bottle it up, box it up, make it something controllable and own it. Then you can sell it and get more of that thing you need that keeps you feeling the way you want to feel. Safe, secure. On that very deep level you can't even comprehend. Just feeling safe. That's what the animal wants. That's what the animal craves to get and latches onto. Because that's the way it is. Because that's what's in it. That's what's in him. When it passes over, when it becomes this adult animal, this old grizzly animal, this old feral cat that needs to protect itself. Not young and vulnerable anymore, but an old, nasty old tomcat that knows everything. Nobody's going to fool me. I'm not going to be vulnerable like them dumb little kids. I'm smart. Oh, I know the ways of the world. Nobody's going to punk me out. Right. Right, man. Same old thing. Same old thing as declared in these metaphors, in these examples, in these stories, the examples of those who went before us and how they were rejected. So, how we will be too. If we hear what's true, if we hear what's false and what the others hear, then we'll be accepted. And according to what lives in us, that's what we want. That's what is inside us. That's what we want to find and agree with. What's in us. What doesn't make us feel threatened. Like maybe we don't have what's real. Oh no, there's no possible way I'm ever even going to consider that. That's stupid. I have what's real. I know it. That's what they all said. That's what they always say. Because they're too chicken to consider anything but what they've already decided is right. And that's what man is. Chicken. So they won't believe us. They won't accept us. And that's good. It's good to be the scourge of man, because man is the scourge of God. Man hates God. What's living inside him hates what's real, because what's real makes him feel uncertain, unsafe, insecure, not stable like he needs to feel. So he rejects it. He rejected the Son, because that's the way the Son made him feel. Because he wanted the Son to conform to the old way, the way that he had already decided was best. He wasn't about to listen to anything new, because that's a threat. That's against the law of Moses. That's against the Word of God, what you say. God would never act like that. God would never say that. That's the familiar pattern that the very words they condemn us with declare. The very metaphors, the very stories declare. Alright. I think I'm going in circles.